Want to play a game that's really challenging? You can be the red, and you can be the green, and you can be the yellow, and you can be the blue.
Hello everyone and welcome to Cheap Noise in the House, the channel where we talk about electronic games and music production. I'm Cheap Noise and Survey says I'm in the house. And before we start this video, I really wanted to wish you all a happy new year with lots of joy, no health issues, no money issues, of course, both are very important, and loads of fun, because when you have fun, it's very fun. Anyway, I want to wish you all a happy new year, and cheers for 2024. Now, this video will be a little review about this game here called Simon Squared. And when I mean little review, it's going to be quite a big review, because there's 7 game modes to look at. This is, as I previously said, Simon Squared. It was released in 2000 by Milton Bradley / Hasbro. This was kind of this weird period where Hasbro was acquiring Milton Bradley, so it's kind of weird. And I believe it has both names on the box. Excuse me. So let's take a look at the game. First, you have the 4 Simon buttons. You have the red button, the blue button, the yellow button, and the green button. The same order that you have in pretty much all the Simon games. And then you have this little raised part in the middle. This has the logo. Above that is the ever so important reset button, because this game tends to lock up. So if you want to reset it, the reset button is over there. And then below the logo, you have the speaker grills and the 3 buttons that will be also very important. The left button will select the level, the skill level. The middle button will be to turn on and to start the game. And the right button will be to select the different game modes. And now, how do you select the game mode or the level is you press one of these buttons and then you press one of these 4 buttons that corresponds to a game. Now, I've previously said that this has 7 different games, but there's only 4 buttons on this side. Truthfully, there's only 3 games on this side, because this is all about fun on the front and business on the back. So yeah, this has 2 sides. This side is completely different. It has 2 sets of 4 buttons that are oriented vertically or horizontally if you're holding it like this. But the buttons in the middle are the same. You have the skill level button, you have the game button or the start button, and the game button. On the top here, this is where you'll put your 3 AA batteries, and that's about it. There's also a speaker grill on this side and a logo on this side too. So let's flip it over again. And let's turn it on. You do that by hitting the start button. And it does a pretty little animation as far as, I don't know how you call it. Then you can press the game button and it will tell you all the games that you have available on this side. And we'll go through them all.
Select game.
It says select game.
Simon.
So Simon is red.
Challenge Simon.
Challenge Simon is blue.
Simon.
And Group Simon is yellow. I'm going to pick Simon.
Simon.
Which is your basic game of Simon. So when you've selected a game, you can select your skill level. Oops.
Select skill level. Level 1.
Level 1, which goes to 8.
Level 2.
That goes to 14.
Level 3.
That goes to 20.
Level 4.
That goes to 31. So I'm going to choose level 1 for now. And now you can press start, and it will play just like any normal Simon game. It does eventually go faster. I think it goes 2 speeds faster than this, but it doesn't go that much faster compared to other Simons. And the last one. There you go, I've beaten the first level. Now it's going to tell you, last, this is where you can choose your last game. And this button will be your longest, which will hold the longest as far as you stay in the same game. And then, let's show you what happens if you get it wrong. So I'm going to press another button. It just does this noise, and then it goes back to the menu with last and longest on the blue. Let's switch to another game.
Select game.
Let's switch to Challenge Simon. This is also kind of like other Simons. The original Simon also had this. It will give you a color, and then you need to make up your own sequence. So I did red and green, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, green, and you just make up your own pattern as you go. And there you go, I got it. Oh, sorry. Next up, we have Group Simon,
Select game.
which is the yellow button.
Group Simon.
And for this game, you don't have any levels. When you press the level button, it just does this. And then for this game, it will tell you to
Sign on.
sign on. In this case, all players playing choose a button. So in this case, I'm gonna say that for all four players are playing. So they choose all the 4 buttons, and I press start. And then from there, it goes into a normal game of Simon until a player doesn't press his button in time. So let's say the red presses there. The red is eliminated, and it will do a sequence of only these 3 colors. So red, blue, green, and yellow. Let's say that blue doesn't press it in time. It will only be yellow and green. And if, let's say, yellow presses it at the wrong time, green wins. And that's it for the 1-player side as far as it goes. Now let's jump cut and switch to the 2-player side.
Longest.
Also, before we jump cut, I want to tell you,
Select game.
if you want to turn the game off, it's simpler to just select a game instead of going to last longest, because it will keep it going until it turns off. Also, another cool feature about this game is you can turn off the sound by hitting the level and game buttons together, and that will turn off the sound, and also make the game more responsive for some reason. Alright, we've switched to the 2-player side, which is also, in my opinion, the most interesting of the 2 sides. And to start it up, you just hit the start button on the second side, and it will do this, which is pretty cool. And it will keep going until you press a button.
Select game.
So in this case, you have 4 games. You have
Double Simon.
Double Simon, which is red,
Ultimate Simon.
Ultimate Simon, which is blue,
Extreme Simon.
Extreme Simon, which is green,
Counterattack Simon.
and Counterattack Simon, which is yellow. I'm going to
Double
choose
Simon.
Double Simon. And, of course, I'm going to go through all of the 4 games with you as well. In this game, you can choose your level. And in this game, what we'll basically do is players will alternate by hitting only 1, 2, 3, or 4 in a sequence. So I'm going to choose
Select skill level.
level 1,
Level 1.
and you'll get it. So I press start. The first player starts, hits red. So the first player hits red, the second player hits yellow, and they go back and forth. Basically, the levels will change how many things a player needs to do before it switches to the other player. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Because I'm on level 1, there's only 1 action per player. I'm gonna mess up. Tells me that player 2 has 1.
Last.
And it also shows you your last and longest if you want. Now let's switch to level 3.
Level 3.
And then you'll see that this player has to fill out 3 things before it switches to the next player. And then the next player will have to fill out 3 things. So since then we've only been on side 1, we'll have 1 on side 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. I'm referring to 1 and 2 as the players, by the way. 1, 1, 2. No, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. And you get the idea. You're basically going until one player misses. And in this case, it will tell you that the other player has won. Alright, next up is my favorite mode on the thing.
Select game.
Ultimate Simon, which is the second mode in the blue button. And this game is about speed, so each player is trying to repeat the pattern as fast as possible or faster than the other player. The first player who completes the pattern or the sequence gets a point. The first player to 10 wins. So again, you can choose levels,
Skill level.
and it will basically choose how long the sequences are.
Sequence of 3.
So the first level is 3,
Sequence of 5.
5.
Sequence of 7.
Level 3 is 7.
Sequence of 9.
And level 4 is 9. I'm going to
Sequence
choose
of 3.
3 for now. I'm going to hit start.
Go.
And it says go, so basically both players are trying to do the sequence as fast as possible.
1.
In this case, this player has 0, this player has 1.
Go.
You can't go very fast on it, which is why I like to turn off the sound for this mode, because it's pretty laggy otherwise. Now, here's the third game,
Select game. Extreme Simon.
Extreme Simon, which is the green button. And in this case, both players are alternating doing the whole sequence. So it works kind of like Double Simon, but except one player has to do the entire sequence every time. So player 1 starts. Then player 2 has to do the whole sequence. Player 1 has to do the whole sequence, and etc. And the first player to miss loses. So let's say this player loses. Player 1 wins. Now let's switch to the final game, which is
Counterattack Simon.
Counterattack Simon, which basically works the same way as Challenge Simon, except you have both sides. So let me explain. Player 1 gets to do a pattern, so this. The entire pattern is repeated to player 2, and player 2 gets to add one more. The entire pattern is repeated to player 1, and he or she has to add one more. And it keeps on going until one player loses. Let's see. This was Simon 2, or Simon Squared, by Milton Bradley. If you're looking for one on eBay, try searching for Simon 2, because that's what they're mostly referred to as on the internet. Apparently there's a commercial that says Simon Squared, and the logo also suggests Simon Squared, but I'm not entirely certain on the correct way to pronounce it. But yeah, it's a very fun game, and also very cheap. You can find them pretty easily on eBay. Mine came with the original box, and in very good condition. The only thing missing is this rubber feet there. But other than that, it's pretty fun, and it's also very fun to play with 2 players. I've played one with 2 players, and it's a blast. It's amazing, and it's really fun. Of course, if it doesn't lock up, that is, but that's just a defect you have to deal with, I guess. And that's it for this video, so until next time, cheers!
Yeah.